Have you ever watched one of your own videos and thought, that doesn't sound like me? Why do I look so stiff? I'm way more natural in real life than this. And then you start wondering if maybe you're just not built for this. If that's you, nothing is wrong with you. Your first videos don't feel like you yet because you're still learning to be yourself out loud, in front of the camera, in front of the world. Almost everyone goes through this phase, but most people don't talk about it. They just show you the polished version years later and pretend it was always easy. Or they're just so removed from the memory of how difficult it was because now they're used to easy mode. So when you don't recognize yourself on camera yet, you assume you're doing something wrong, which means you start questioning your personality, your voice, your presence. When really, you're just early in learning a new language. Here's what's actually happening. In real life, you've had years to practice being yourself, to continually refine yourself, your tone, your timing, your humor, your instincts. On camera, all of that has to be translated through a new lens. And translation is messy at first. You run anything through a language translator and it comes out clunky. Doesn't sound right. It has to be refined. On camera, you're thinking about lighting, about framing, about wording. So part of your attention is split. That's why you feel stiff. That's why you feel awkward. Not because you're fake, but because you're multitasking in an entirely new context. This is where self-blame shows up. Your brain expects consistency. So when you act differently in a new environment, it assumes something is wrong. It thinks, why don't I sound like myself? Why am I quieter? Why am I louder? Why am I thinking so much? But that's not you disappearing. That's you learning. Remember, every skill feels unnatural before it feels automatic. So your personality hasn't gone anywhere. It's just temporarily busy adapting. So give it some space, some time. Let it come back around. It'll catch up. Another thing people feel ashamed of in this phase is copying. They start talking like other creators, using similar phrasing, borrowing structure that works. And then they think to themselves, I'm not original. But that's how learning works. I studied comedians to learn comedy. I studied sales reps to learn sales. I studied leaders to learn leadership. You borrow frameworks until you internalize them. Then your voice emerges. No one skips that step. They just forget they went through it. When your videos don't feel like you yet, don't try to force a persona, over-edit every sentence, or quit because it feels unnatural. That just delays familiarity. You don't find your voice by waiting. You find it by using it over and over. When I stepped into sales and leadership roles years ago, I would take what I learned, rehearse it, talk with people over and over again, day in and day out, for years, until I found my voice and transformed my identity. If your early videos don't feel like you yet, that's not a flaw. It's proof you're learning to express yourself in a new environment. Your voice doesn't appear fully formed. It stabilizes, it settles, it grows through repetition. So don't judge yourself mid-calibration. You're not awkward, you're adapting. If this helped you stop being so hard on yourself, hit like so more creators can find this too. And subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. You won't want to miss them. Take care. Have you ever watched one of your own videos and thought, if maybe that doesn't sound like in the beginning, because almost everyone goes through this phase. You run anything through on camera, you're thinking about, it's because every skill feels so you're borrowing persona or over